Okay, we managed to get rid of him. And in doing so, we actually managed to pick up someone new. Hey, welcome, Narrow Triangle. We're just gonna call him Narrow.
Hello. Yeah, most people just say just oh. So
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome indeed. Happy to have you on.
I do I just introduce myself here or
You can do whatever the hell you want.
all right, hi. I'm Narrow Triangle as that was just I just been introduced as I'm kind of just like an editor for like various on various corners around versus like mainly Galaxy Video and Realm of Gods. That's probably where you might know me from. But most importantly, I'm here because in my friend group I'm the Genshin Impact guy. So feel
Yeah.
yeah that's it. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, well, we certainly need it. And hey, actually, on that note, yeah,
Yes.
with one episode comes another, as the case may be. And yeah, next time on Death Battle, it's a match that every single person ever is normal about. Every single person ever, not a single person has been crazy about this one in any way, shape, or form.
Yep, especially not when it was revealed on the Kickstarter. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Mm.
It's been so chill, so great. And what better matchup for me to be talking about than Aang from Avatar versus the Traveler from Genshin Impact?
Man.
Yeah. When DJ said this was his dream matchup that he wanted, for one thing, I was like, okay.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, okay.
Okay.
Sure, man. Okay, cool. You're bringing back Aang. Guess we are never gonna get Sokka versus John. And you're bringing in one of, if not the most, let's just be a little simple and generous here, the most modern, fun version of gaming we have going on today, that are for people who don't, like to just play your single players or your multiplayers. No, we're literally now in the realm and era of what are called gachas.
Favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
fact, my wife. I'm sorry, Nero. My wife is also a fan of gachas. She plays. I believe she has played Honkai Star Rail.
I guess like to give my 2 cents on the matchup, I think it makes perfect sense. Well, bringing Aang
why do you think so?
Well, okay. Well, the match is just simple. You know, just like they're just people who travel around these like varied lands, learning their cultures, and they use the elements of said lands. But also, Aang, specifically, is notoriously one of the most butchered characters in all of Death Battle. With
Yes, absolutely. You are not wrong in that bold statement. That certainly remains true today.
So I feel like out of all the characters who are returners, I think bringing him back and actually getting the first good Avatar episode on Death Battle is a good opportunity. You know.
Are you implying that Korra versus Storm was not a good Avatar episode?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Guess what?
At least
I don't blame you.
at least
I don't
someone
blame
said
you
it.
for thinking that. I do not blame you for thinking that, and I am a die-hard Korra fan. So
I mean, dude,
yeah.
To be fair, I think that episode has gotten a lot more, you know, I don't want to say negativity. It has a lot more detractors now from when it first came out. And
So okay,
yeah.
I mean, at the time, I mean, I guess just quickly going over the Avatar episodes we've had, post season 2. I mean, Aang versus Edward was literally notorious for misrepresenting, like Nero said, not just Aang as a character, but also Edward. And I don't mean to be mean, but there were a lot of detractors who said that the animation was probably the ugliest sprite fight they ever did. And you know, the death is definitely something that does not make me want to crack open a beer and get drunk. With how it makes no sense. And then, you know, there's Zuko versus Todoroki, which also it was proclaimed the second worst Avatar episode ever made.
Man, freaking, I won't lie. Like going back to Zuko Todoroki, like, man, I don't know. Truth be told, I don't think it deserves all the hate it gets. At least the fight, like the analysis, yeah, are definitely mixed. But like, I still thought the fight was cool. But like, man, just the reputation of that episode makes me sad, especially for how good the matchup is.
Yes. Well, okay, and then going real quick back to Korra versus Storm, it was my understanding, and the bros even talked about this so long ago. We did discover that it was probably the most tamed Avatar-themed fight we've ever had in Death Battle, because it was a stomp matchup that everybody on the entire planet, Milky Way, universe, multiverse, all of life itself could call as the most obvious winner. So maybe you bring up a good point that maybe I said, well, I did say post season 2. Yes. No, we don't. No, we don't talk about Gara versus Toph on this show.
Except when we did, but don't worry about that. Non-canon.
Yes. You know, but that being said, Aang getting a run back is interesting. Again, very interesting.
I mean, I will say, like, I know, again, I feel like we talked about this before, but I know, like, people are probably going to complain about the influx of returners in the Kickstarter era so far, but like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I do think that, like, all of them, again, have a good reason for come back, and I think Aang especially, like we said, you know, with how Aang Edward handled things, I do think, you know, bringing him back is a warranted thing. So
Aang has the advantage of being back for a second time after his first fight was approximately over 6 years ago. And fun fact, its 6-year anniversary is this Friday.
Is it really?
Ooh.
Yes, it came out on July 24th, 2019.
Well, happy birthday to Aang versus Ed. I hope it has a bad one.
Yes. Here's your present. You get a better episode.
You know, it'd be really funny if after, again, we don't know. It would actually be really funny if after Aang Traveler we got like an Edward run back or something with Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh God, yeah,
That'd be
absolutely.
funny.
I mean, look, I would love to see Edward get a run back.
Really just more Full Metal stuff in general.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like to this day I don't understand what they were thinking at that time. for choosing Aang's first episode to be Edward after it was originally supposed to be Harry Potter back in the season 1 days. Then they prolonged him. There was talks about Captain Planet, but they never did it. And then they ultimately just ended on Edward.
I mean, you say that like you are aware. Okay, from my perspective, I don't think it was like one of the most talked about matches for Aang. You are aware. Like
as
I
far
feel
as
like
I'm
Aang,
aware, it wasn't.
Oh
I
no,
don't know, I
it
feel
was.
like
Oh no,
Aang-
it was pretty big.
I feel like Aang and Poe were probably the biggest ones, if I recall. Which,
I mean,
don't know.
look, I mean, I'm a boomer when it comes to most of Aang's matchups, with the exception of Captain Planet, so I'll concede maybe there, at one point in time, was enough hype for Edward to fight Aang, but it just was not executed well.
Yeah.
And that being said, that's transitioning over to this fight. I really hope that this episode can prove everyone wrong. And when I mean everyone that stopped donating, or that stopped and donated their money to the Kickstarter, because that's the kind of reputation this episode has. It was so out of nowhere that it was, and again, this is superstitions, but it was kind of perceived as the episode that stopped the momentum of the Kickstarter. Whether or not that's true doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but that's why I now want this
Although
episode.
I can tell you it's not.
I mean, we
was
don't
gonna say.
know for certain. We don't know. Honestly,
say.
I can't say confidently whether it did or didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I think that again, I think it's unfair to say that's the only reason why it slowed down around that time. But like, either way, like.
I mean, okay,
coincidence is
look,
there.
Look, I don't doubt that some people pulled out because of this matchup, but some people pulled out a ridiculous amount of money, and if you think that's because they're like big salty over a Genshin Impact character, like, come on, that's ridiculous.
So, I mean, from my understanding at that time, I was under the belief that they were salty because they did want a Genshin Impact character, but this is not the character they wanted for that. Again, I know Nero is here to explain everything, and I very much value learning more about Genshin from his knowledge, but it's from my understanding from other friends in my own groups that there were better matchups for a Genshin debut other than the Traveler. I know one of them involved Jetstream Sam at one point, but I can't remember the character.
That's
I don't know.
Hold on, I gotta look this up.
There's apparently a Genshin character that was requested to fight Jetstream Sam.
Oh yeah, I forgot who Sam was for a bit. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But that being said, like, look, it is something that I do agree with, bro. I think it was ridiculous that there were people who were so upset about this matchup that they pulled out their money in defiance of this matchup existing, and they kind of just had to compromise and just say, all right, look, we're shuffling things around. It's already happened. It's gonna happen. Now, here, we wanna get things back on track. Here's the matchup that if you donate this amount of set tier money to, it'll unlock it.
It's not really what I said, but okay.
Okay, I do want to come kind of at the defense of the matchup. Again, feel like we should reiterate. Aside from Nero, the three of us are outsiders to Genshin.
Big
only heard about
outsiders.
stuff through the only heard about it through the grapevine from other people. From my perspective, while I do think there are other matchups for both that interest me more, like Poe and Breath of the Wild Link for Aang and Byleth for the Traveler, which I am kind of surprised in hindsight that, because I always thought that was the way more popular option for Traveler, but whatever. That could just be influenced by the circles I'm in. I do. I don't know. Like I said, I do think this matchup has some merit, and I know the argument of like, oh, like this character, like there are other characters from the series that would have been more interesting. I don't know. Like from my perspective, I think Traveler, I think it's an interesting start to the world. To look in the world
Well,
of Genshin.
he's like the player character, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is the player character.
Or-
But let's also not just forget this is apparently, if this still remains true, this was DJ's choice. Like this was a DJ matchup that he wanted.
I don't think he's the sole one who, because like obviously there are a lot of people like both Avatar and Aang on the team, like Jacob or Jacob Jukum. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if DJ's like the sole pusher, but because like I know a lot of people on the team are like, I mean, obviously like almost everybody on the team is a big Avatar fan.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I think there are a good handful of people on the team like DJ or Jukum that are like big Genshin Impact fans. So yeah, like I don't know. I've seen this match kind of like thrown around. Like I wouldn't say I've seen it like hard pushed, especially compared to Aang's other options. But like I've seen it around. I feel like a lot of people act like this came out of like absolutely nowhere. Like nobody requested it. I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah, I definitely seen it like floating around before, and it has its fans.
Yeah, and it's for those fans that this episode is being made. And hey, if it gets our first Genshin Impact character on this, then you know what? We're killing two birds with one stone. And we are also giving Aang some better quality.
Yes, we are.
Especially since this is kind of going to become the weekend of Avatar, I suppose.
Yes, it is. You have of course, as I just said earlier, you have the 6-year anniversary of Aang's first death battle this Friday. You have the release of the Legend of Aang movie coming out this Saturday after being stuck in Paramount's vault for approximately half a decade. You also have the fighting game coming out not too long after this episode comes out. And the future of Avatar is going to be expanded on this weekend at San Diego Comic-Con, which I completely forgot was this weekend. But yeah, it is going to be a big weekend for Aang.
Avatar Legends, the fighting game, will be released on July 23rd, 2026. It's July 21st as we're recording this.
Yeah, okay, then there you go. So Avatar Legends is coming out. There you are.
Right.
So yeah, it's good. I would say if there are Avatar fans out there, then this is a good time to be an Avatar fan, because it feels like we're getting a lot more content with Aang.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Genshin will always have new stuff coming out, because it's my understanding that Genshin has a lot of events posted all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Genshin came out, what, 2018? No, wait.
To like 2020. Yeah, 2020.
2020, yeah.
During the pandemic.
Yeah, and it's still getting updates.
Oh yeah, it is. Like this and Honkai Star Rail are really the two biggest gacha games going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't say there's other not to nerd out, but there's probably other gacha games that are also popular. I know Wuthering Waves is really big, so.
That is true. But these are definitely. But Genshin is the one that comes to mind when you talk about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Genshin is the go-to example.
Yeah.
Most mainstream, probably. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I'll give my two thoughts on picking the Traveler specifically for our first Genshin rep. I'll say that
Yeah.
Okay. I know there are a lot more popular ideas like their requests. I know Raiden Shogun the okay, I hope you guys like proper nouns. So I'm gonna say a lot, not elaborate.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
The Electro Archon for Genshin, like I think she has like the most popular. Has the most popular spread overall, and or why not a Fatui Harbinger, like Tartaglia. He's the Jetstream Sam opponent, like that. I think if you're going to introduce the world of Genshin Impact to like a new audience, you start with the main character, you know, and then like, even if he doesn't have like the most popular spread, I feel like this is like the best start, and you get to explain like the mechanics of Genshin, like as they did in the preview and whatnot, through the lens of the traveler, like exploring them in the game, and also this is just a coincidence, but like when they announced the matchup, Genshin was in the Netland phase of the fifth region basically, and just immediately Traveler just started like doing a lot more like cooler things, like coincidentally, and like so like especially like in recently in the latest updates of the game and not cry, they're just eating like Traveler fans are eating just how like cooler like Traveler is now as in Genshin, so just prime opportunity to use them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's almost like they planned this all along. No. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's kind of like how I was thinking as well. Like I mentioned earlier, like like sure, I'm sure. Hope if we get more Genshin, I'm sure we'll explore the more specific parts of characters. But like again, I do agree that Travel I think was like the best choice to like introduce the world and like all of its like abilities and whatnot. So I'm cool with it.
I guess the hope
Yeah, I
is like
agree.
if you see a character like that's like name dropped in Traveler's Rundown, it'll make people like want to see them on Death Battle more based on how cool it would be
Yeah,
to
there
see
you go.
Traveler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 I can agree to that.
Well, there you go. Yeah, and I mean, like you said, I'm sure Raiden Shogun will eventually get an episode.
Yeah, she's gonna fight Mortal
obviously.
Kombat Raiden to die horribly. That's what I want to see.
Um, I still think that's cool, but yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I know shit. Like I said, like you said, widespread. Who knows what they're gonna narrow in on? No pun intended.
Ha!
Okay. I guess the other thing I guess we talked about this earlier that I want to bring up is like the disdain this community apparently has towards Genshin Impact, or like the cat, because like it's a fucking gacha game. Ooh.
Yep, that is indeed
Yeah.
That
what people think.
Like I think people have their right to like dislike Genshin for its like practices or like Hoyoverse as the company. I think that's perfectly fine. But if you're just hating on it just because it's Genshin Impact, I feel like other Death Battle has used other series that are like as predatory, like oh, no, I don't know, that's not the right word. Like money hungry, I guess, like Dragon Ball and Pokemon. I feel like that's not very fair.
Yeah.
I can agree to that.
Yeah. The only difference between those two is that Genshin Impact's gay. Ooh, I hate.
How dare they? In my 2026? No, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, obviously, with every episode, like, every new franchise, you're bound to get some detractors, but like, yeah,
It just
I
comes
mean,
with the territory of Death Battle wanting to branch out, because that is the thing that I do constantly award them for, is that Death Battle has to adapt with the times, because they can't just reuse the same franchises over and over and over again. Like even now, as we're talking, and we just got done with this with our Prime and Century discussion. Before that, a lot of people were being detractors on Death Battle reusing anime franchises, especially whether they were returning combatants or characters that we haven't seen from that franchise. And I feel like with this year, they should branch out because you're bringing back existing franchises like DC, like Marvel, like Genshin. I'm sorry, not even Genshin, like Avatar. But you're having them go against new characters or new franchises that Death Battle has not tackled yet. Because, spoiler alert, if they just did the same franchise over and over and over and over and over again, then it just stops being something that we get to say, oh, Death Battle's very diverse when it comes to the franchises that they use for their show. It just feels like they're reusing the same ones. And, and again, whether this was whether this was indeed something that they had on their radar, or maybe all of them as a collective said, you know what, no, we want to do Genshin, and we're going to have it be the Traveler, and we're going to do Aang. We're going to bring back Aang. Whether or not that was something they themselves came to that conclusion on, really doesn't matter, because, again, it's finally a good time, I think, to talk about Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
And I do kind of feel like Genshin was inevitable for the show with how like popular it is. And again, like if you don't like the gameplay or like the company or the gotchas whatevers of Genshin, that's fine. Just keep in mind, there are people who are loyal to it and whatnot, and
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Don't be too annoying about the fans of it. You can be annoying about the company, but just don't be annoying about the fans. Well, okay.
Anyway,
Depending.
I will say, to add on to like Genshin being inevitable, it's like people who are Genshin fans have been able to come up with matchups about as easy as it is to drink water. So,
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
It's like they're like not even just Genshin, but like Hoyoverse in general just has like a lot of matchups being pushed for them. It's like, geez, is this Hoyoverse or is this Common Rider? I'm not sure anymore.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of said it when we were talking about just the Kickstarter in general. It's like, I don't know. I don't really have a problem with this existing. Like I have nothing against it. I'm not knowledgeable about Genshin in any way, shape, or form, but in turn, that means I don't really have anything against it, so that has to count for something, right?
I would say I'm the same in that regard, because, again, my knowledge of Genshin is not anything special, other than what Nero is here to tell us, other than what my friends have told me, and when I've seen them talk about it in our chats, when Genshin always comes up around the Game Awards. Or they release new updates. I am not familiar with Genshin when it comes to the Versus community, so that's really why I think, pushing aside the gameplay aspect, am I a fan of gacha games? Well, I mean, I did play Multiverses, which kind of was similar to a gacha game in terms of its mechanics and what it was trying to do, just didn't do any good at it. Rest in peace to our Multiverses playthroughs. Anyway, but that being said, gacha games are just something that I don't gravitate towards, but that doesn't mean that I don't see the appeal in them, because, again, video games have constantly evolved. So if it feels like gacha games are the future of that, then hey, that's cool. As long as I can still have the games I want, there will be no problems.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely am more interested in, like, even though I haven't deep dive, I do think the world behind Genshin seems kind of neat to me. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've had thoughts about, like, maybe trying to get into it. Although
so have
granted, I don't think I I don't think I have a device that should play it right now. But no, I don't know. There's a passing interest, but
Yeah,
and who
there's a
knows?
fan base for it.
Maybe this episode will get me even more interested in it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'm cool with it being here. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And I don't know
basically
if people on the team want to express their love for the game, then I say let them. Like why should we stop them?
Yeah. Exactly.
guess-
Exactly.
This is a neat little transition, I guess. I think sorry, I keep calling him Jacob. Jukum on Twitter said that he's working on the episode. He's doing post of his, but like, you can clearly see like in the footage they show that's his account in the Travelers rundown.
Oh yeah, I love. Okay, I love. This is what I love about video game characters. When they obviously need to pull footage from the games, I love it when they can just pull footage from their gameplay
Oh yeah.
and put that into the episode.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
that's
dude,
kind of.
every time we get a killer instinct character, I'm always looking at the health bars. Am I gonna see nervous Nick in there?
Yeah, exactly. Or Sam or Chad. Yeah, I love that.
And like I guess continue my point. All the gameplay is Jukum's footage. And you can see like that dude has like 15 characters who are like level 90 and like
Is that a big deal?
yes, like level 90 is like the max. You can max you can build a character in Genshin. And then,
Oh, really?
Like tons of artifacts. You can tell that this guy really likes the game. And I also assume that he's helping the edit with the
Possibly.
and like yeah, possibly. And it looks so good.
Yeah.
Like I like
that
there
is-
are,
that's
a lot
very
of
nice.
Yeah, like in the edit, like there are like tons of like little community like jokes and whatnot like that like the average fan like the average person probably wouldn't get, but like it's there just for like the fans of the series. Like I remember there's this one clip that I really want to gush about. I'm sorry, just
No, it's so cool.
there was a character with like like it was like when Ringmaster was talking about like he's been playing this game for like since launch. A character with glasses like shows up and in the shine of the like lenses on the right there's a character with a McDonald's hat like edited on. It was just another like inside joke in the community, and the other one is a character named Vanessa, and it's just her like her a move of her just like slamming her ass down. So yeah, I don't know, just this is like I'm like I remember I watched it first time I was geeking out just like every little thing. sorry that was a tangent.
No worries.
glad they are sprinkling stuff like that in. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Yes. On that note, what do we think of the analyses previews? Because we have previews to talk about for this episode.
We do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, Nero, how do you feel about Traveler's preview? Because I wanted to address this. I've heard, again, this is just from maybe Drunk Griffin. I don't know if everyone else agrees with this, but I've heard that Traveler's analyses, Nero, is too overwhelming.
You listen to
Did
this
you get
guy?
that feeling? Drunk Griffin.
No, I know. Okay. Anyway.
I'm biased because I've been playing this game not since launch, but for like 4 years straight. So like I don't think it's overwhelming because like I understand like what they're getting at as someone who's familiar with the material, but maybe like for like someone who's like not as familiar with like Genshin, it might be, but like I think they're like explaining things like perfectly. Just
Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess that is my overall question. It's like, do you feel like so far what you're seeing, especially because the Traveler now has the longest death battle preview in the independent era. It clocks in like just over 4 minutes, not counting the ad space. Do you think that was that's good so far?
Yeah, I think that's good. Like, one part that I'm very impressed with is they're like, kind of like speeding through like the main story of Genshin. Like, basically how it goes, how it usually goes. Traveler goes to a new region. He gets pulled into like whatever shenanigans is going on. And then, like overly long quest about him like helping the nation's crisis, basically. How I think how they're breaking it down is like they're introducing Traveler's like initial role, like how the story is changing the Traveler, and then the element that they gain from said nation. I think that's really good because like they're condensing like a lot of information down to just like a few like under a minute. That's impressive, I think. Because your average Genshin quest is like over an hour, at least like 2 hours, like at minimum 2 hours long. So you gotta understand that.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I can deal with that.
Also, apparently, I'm looking on Death Metal Wiki. Apparently, Traveler's preview references Lucina versus Grovile again.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And
it's Jukin. What did you expect?
And it makes me, yeah, I guess, yeah, but it just makes me wonder, why have they not done this match already? For crying out loud, they referenced it 6 times now. Like,
Okay, no. They're not referencing it. Jukum is referencing it.
Yeah.
no, I know, but like,
You're
At
gonna
this
push
po-
that matchup into existence one day.
Yeah.
like, at this point, come on now. Anyway,
I guess moving on. What do y'all think about Aang's preview?
Well, I mean, it keeps it still has more or less the same beats as his original, but I love that they try to spice it up. Because Aang's story is relatively the simplest to tell in terms of the avatars. Again, I do appreciate that.
also, like, almost everyone and their mother has seen Avatar, so,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do appreciate that they're trying more to, no pun intended, quote unquote, balance retelling Aang's story while also throwing in some versus facts and lingo in there. I didn't have a problem with how they retold it. It does help that, again, this episode's probably gonna have. This episode's writing is definitely gonna have something going on with Aang. So, I mean, I think that so far in the 3 minutes they show, it's pretty good. I do want to note, though, the one thing I like. I don't want to write it off. There are 2 highlights for me. The first one being they actually bring up the martial arts styles that the bending element is based off of, which is indeed how the creators Michael and Brian based the bending period. They just brought in a bunch of different martial artists, and they essentially would reference their styles as to, okay, this is air bending, that's earth bending, that's fire bending, that's water bending. I do like that. I like how they break down the different martial arts styles for each of the bending elements. That's something that was kind of underplayed and not very much talked about in Aang's first episode.
I was gonna say I don't even remember if they did, honestly.
I mean, they brought it up in the corner. They did bring it up in the corner, like when they listed abilities and for bending, but that was it. There was never a excuse me. There was never a full breakdown of, oh, hey, this is actually what Aang's airbending could be related to in terms of our real life martial arts styles.
Yeah, it's always fun when, like I mentioned, it's always fun when they can include real world parallels like that. Like,
oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, that is why that's generally why Avatar: The Last Airbender is probably one of the most fondly remembered shows of the early 2000s. Is its choreography is so dope. Like, it's still good. And also the second highlight of this episode's preview is Jocelyn's back. Let's go, my girl.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I'm really glad they didn't just forget about the other characters.
Yeah, like, look, Okay,
Yeah.
okay, real quick. We did forget to mention one thing. I'm sorry. Apparently Wiz does not like Ringmaster
Well, yeah.
for some
Oh, yeah?
reason.
For some reason, he's a fucking nerd. Yeah.
How is that any different from Wiz?
Well, true. Oh, no, like that's true. I mean, like,
Ringmaster's
no,
a-
Ringmaster play.
Ringmaster's a nerd.
plays-
Wiz is an intellectual.
Yeah.
How is that any? You are describing the same thing to me.
Ringmaster,
Shut up.
Ringmaster plays League and Genshin Impact. I feel like that's not a
Yeah.
good combo.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude,
okay.
I do
guess-
love. I do love that they use Ringmaster for like these like. Whenever
Yeah.
whenever they bring in like a series like Genshin Impact or like League of Legends, they bring in Ringmaster to kind of explain the series like mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one I like.
Yeah. Also, I guess I'm sorry. I have to go back to like something I forgot to say in the Travelers Rundown. How it ended. It was Ringmaster just trying to help Boomstick like fix his Genshin team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. I appreciate like him like on stream like actually building like a proper like Navia team because like that's what it should look like in Genshin.
It did feel natural. Like that's something that's obviously more relatable to the Genshin fans, but I could pick up on it. Like, oh, that's actually kind of neat. And then I love the idea that Wiz is just so pissed off. Which again, it's like, who are you to talk, Zuko lover?
Okay, let's calm down.
Anyway, I'm just saying, you leave him alone. You leave
Yeah.
Ringmaster alone, you asshole. Him and Jocelyn could do your jobs. Anyway.
Actually, I think Ringmaster explicitly doesn't want to do Wiz's job.
No, that's true. But I'm with y'all. I mean, any chance to get Ringmaster back to explain the mechanics of something that is not within even Wiz and Boomstick's territory is always fun. And I don't know, it kind of feels like there's such a good underlying continuity that you're reminded that Boomstick and Ringmaster were college roommates who used to do this all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun dynamic, and I always love
It
seeing
is. It is. It's
just again seeing Jocelyn for the first time in like a while is just
It's been a minute. It like she hasn't appeared physically since Among Us vs Fall Guys.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I always
mean,
love seeing her.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always love Wiz and Boomstick, but any opportunity they can get to use their other characters like Jocelyn, Ringmaster, or Dummy, I welcome it.
Yeah.
One day we'll get Dummy back.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah. But yeah. I think these previews are solid.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the full thing. Also,
Yeah,
thank you so far. Thank you for not using live action footage from either the Netflix series or the fucking live action movie. Thank you.
I don't think it's going to be used. Period. I think.
No.
If it is, I will deduct a point.
I mean, I was gonna say, you never know.
I will
It
deduct a
could
point.
be
I'm
funny.
dead serious.
It'd be funny.
That would be fun.
If they
And we
didn't
got
do
it.
it, if they didn't do it for Iron Fist, they better damn well not do it for Aang.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see it being in that little interlude thingy. Like, they use a live action Aang, and then there's a video of Ether's English voice actor Zach Aguilar cosplaying as him. I think that would be really funny to see.
no, I want that.
That actually would.
That'd be really funny.
That would be.
see
Okay,
it.
so how about that fight animation preview?
Yeah.
Woo!
Let's see. Here's Aang versus Edward. Here's Aang versus Traveler. Aang versus Traveler is automatically better. Okay, that's the last time, I swear. No.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
so yeah, you're right. So first of all, hey, this marks very much like how Cell versus Metal was our first ever 3D Sonic related episode. This is our first ever 3D Avatar episode.
Yeah, there you go. Which I mean, to be fair, I kind of think everyone expected this to be 3D just because of Genshin
It's
alone.
Genshin, yeah.
To be, yeah, no, there was no other way you could do this fight justice visually without it being 3D.
But yeah, no, still welcome to see, and yeah, it's looking pretty cool so far. I gotta say.
Yeah.
But I won't lie. There are some things that I think, I don't know. I'm curious if how much they're gonna tune it up in the full episode. But no, I very much like it so far. Get a good variety of powers just in the preview alone. So that's welcome. I don't know, just some things I feel like look a little weird. But I don't know. I'm guessing that's just preview stuff that is not 100% finished. I don't know, I think it's
I
mostly
do
the
like
background.
I do like how expressive Aang is, because like expressiveness is definitely something that's like a staple for Avatar.
Oh yeah, no. So, you know, on that note, rewatching the preview now, I love. Okay, so again, yeah, the facial expression is on point. It's kind of got that. It's kind of got the same facial expression game that Groove versus Megamind had, but they're leaning more into the anime tropes of it. Like Aang is totally giving me Ruby vibes with how he's kind of just marking out over the Traveler and his abilities. But I also love that shot of Aang just ducking under the Traveler's attack. Like you can actually see they animated it frame by frame to show him ducking underneath it, and it looks so smooth. It very much is the smoothest Avatar choreography this show has had, and that's kind of to be expected because, you know, Aang's choreography is very much something that you need to nail in a 3D environment.
Oh yeah.
It's something that the other Avatar episodes kind of lack. More so in the bending.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, what I love is that, you know, I love that he is using, so far he's using a mixture of all of his bending plus evading. He's not really somebody who is going on the offensive. It's always defensive, which is in character for him. And you know, I think the effects look fine. I mean, I can see what ZDogg is somewhat talking about, but
I don't know. I think it's actually the backgrounds that feel kind of weird. That's like my big thing. But I don't know. That could just be a thing I need to get used to.
Well, I mean, so Nero, can you pinpoint? Like, do you think this is taking place in a neutral environment from Genshin or Avatar? Because I can't tell.
Isn't this the Northern Air Temple? That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
If it it does look like it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then yes, you are correct. Okay, so see, I feel silly. Yeah, it's the Northern Air Temple from Korra. Which, hey, you know, that's fine. Happy to see it. So there you go. It's on neutral territory for Aang.
Nice.
I do want to say the last shot of it looks like Traveler is going into his state, and you kind of see Aang go into the Avatar state. I'm very curious to see how that's going to look with the finished product.
I do love the Avatar state shot. It looks really nice.
It just reinforces that, you know, of the avatars, between the two of them, Aang is the one who looks more cooler when he's in the Avatar state compared to Korra. Korra just looks kind of meh. And I'm allowed to say that because I'm a Korra fan, so shut up, all of you out there.
I'm very interested to see that with like full context.
Yes. I I do hope that again we can't really predict the length of these, but I do hope the avatar state is not something that's used around the 2-minute mark. I kind of want it to be something that's kind of built up on and saved. The problem with Aang's previous usage of it was always
Is that it shows up
kinda
and then
just-
wins?
it just shows up and it wins, yeah, but it's not even that it shows up and it wins. No, it just shows up and it's overkill. It doesn't really do much at all. The scope and scale of its power is just something that's it's cool, but it's kind of undermined at the same time. Because the idea is that when Aang goes into the avatar state, it's something that's both beautiful yet terrifying because he still doesn't know how to control the avatar state.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
I will say I am digging that. It seems like we're gonna be kind of bouncing around the environment. We're not just staying at the
Yes.
temple. Like the shot of Traveler, like zigzagging his way up that mountain. I'm like, oh god, okay, this is gonna be. This is
Yeah,
gonna
we're
something
gonna be
special.
Yeah, we're gonna be going places.
Yeah, it just
I like that.
It's just so funny because usual death battle sets are freaking huge.
But yeah, the 3D environments for a 3D death battle fight are no exaggeration. They're fucking massive.
So I do like that they make as much use out of them as they can, at least.
Yes.
And like, not that I have any like particular problem with staying in one spot and just focusing on the characters. That's perfectly fine. But when you're able to like, for lack of a better term, travel around, and like bounce from mountain to mountain, from the treetops to the temple and whatnot, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like we're making use of our giant ass environment.
Yes.
Essentially just them flexing.
Pretty much.
It's welcome.
Yeah.
It is.
Welcome to
Yeah, I'm very excited, and it's also gonna be so cool to get some actual. Another thing we haven't talked about with the combat is you're actually gonna get to see Aang's staff go up against the Traveler's Blade, and I think that's kind of cool because, again, it's very much literally an offensive character fighting a defensive character, and I don't know. I hope there's a moment where you do get it. Look, because again, even in the one shot where you actually get to see Aang use the glider, like he actually pulls out the compartment where it's supposed to glide, and he kind of just creates a little mini gust of wind to throw the Traveler off. I like that because you're playing with the staff. You're not just, oh, he's just swinging the stick around. No, he's actually using the staff to its full capabilities in trying to throw the Traveler off his game.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, even something as simple as him just twirling the staff to go up, I like. I love when he does that.
Very smooth.
Yeah, and it does look like it's his... I guess just because they're using a Fortnite model, it is the Season 1 staff. It's not the Season 3 staff where it was blue. But, you know, hey, Season 1, 2 staff is classic, so, you know, hey, I ain't complaining.
Yeah. Oh, I guess if anyone's wondering why they're using the Fortnite model for Aang, it's really because it's kind of in a similar vein as Gru. It's like all of his other models are straight doo-doo. They are not very good, and they would, and even those that are fine would look dreadful next to the Traveler. So
yeah,
I know. When I was talking about this fight with Kodo way back during the Kickstarter, I did mention I'm kind of wondering if they would have used the Nick Alter Brawl models, one of those models. But yeah, I you know, I think probably doing the Fortnite one would have probably just matched better. So whatever.
yeah, and it's more easier to animate.
Yeah.
Because Fortnite models are relatively simple. And this isn't the first time Death Battle has used a Fortnite model. They did it way back in Season 10 with Ark's model. They just took his Fortnite model from that time period and they took off all of the ugly blue sheen and they edited the collar to look kind of right, and then boom, there you go. And then they just patched up the face.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, every time they use a Fortnite model, they adjust it in some way. So, because obviously the Fortnite models are based off of like one singular skeleton.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's obviously like very heavily edited, but it is still the same model.
I don't
Yeah,
mind it.
Yeah,
It's a good model, so whatever.
Yeah, because like the thing is, something that people probably don't understand as much is, you don't just pick out good models and just go from there. They have to look good next to each other. So like we talked about Superman earlier, like the reason why they didn't pull from, I don't know, literally anything else is that they probably like. I think the crew should have mentioned like pulling the model from like multiverses, but that would have looked so awkward next to Goku.
Oh yeah.
And the same kind of applies here. Like they probably could have pulled from like Nick All-Star Brawl or something, but like that probably would have looked really awkward next to the Traveler. So hey, let's go with the one that looks the most right. Next to the opposition, and especially since it being is like end game design, like you could kind of see like it is Aang by like the end of his series, even though it was gonna be anyway, obviously. But like now we have like visual confirmation, I suppose, because I guess that's something that people really care about that much. Because I remember when we first saw the preview for Yuji Denji, everyone was like, "Why is Yuji not in his modular design?" I'm like, "Y'all are freaking bugging." It's like if you have to ask that, you're thinking too hard.
Yeah.
So hey, here's I guess something to. I mean, I guess it's not like fully adult Aang, but like we were never gonna see fully adult Aang. Come on, people.
No, okay, so on that note, I guess on that note, does it suck they're not using adult Aang from, again, the Avatar, the Legend of Aang movie hasn't come out yet, so we can't really say that, but
I'm more so talking about Korra.
Yeah, it's like, look, would that have been cool? Yeah, but guess what? That 3D there's no 3D model that exists of that, which means they would have had to create it from scratch. And I think I'm more okay with them using Aang as he always has been depicted, which is Book 3. That's just literally classic Aang. Not that it wouldn't have been cool to see 40-year-old Aang kick some ass. Because again, the few times that adult Aang shows up in Korra are genuinely awesome yet funny at the same time. There's a great Easter egg with adult Aang that I actually hope ZDogg gets to see one day. But nevertheless, it's better to use Book 3 Aang, in my opinion.
I was gonna say like Book 3 or like classic, the original series, like that's what the character's most known for, like it or not.
Yeah.
So I think that it just makes sense to just use that.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining, but
nope. But yeah. Speaking of not complaining, I'm not complaining about these voice actors.
It's funny. It's funny we keep mentioning Korra.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Because I guess now they apparently share the same actress.
Yes. So Amanda Julia is returning to Death Battle for the first time in almost a decade to not reprise her role as Korra, but to play Aang.
Yep, had her sights on a different avatar, I see.
Yeah.
Funny how that was. Yeah, first freaking the first freaking John Van Doren with some My Hero characters, and now Julie with the Avatar
It's
characters.
Yeah. I am curious as to why they didn't go with Emily. I cannot. I'm not even gonna
Emily
bother
Fajardo.
pronouncing her last. Falardo.
Emily
Yeah.
Fajardo.
Fajardo. Okay. I'm curious as to why they didn't get Emily back.
Yeah.
Because I thought her aim was pretty good. I mean, for what it was, I mean, she got the fundamentals down, but I don't know. Hearing Amanda, Julia as Aang, it kind of feels like, and again, maybe this is why they specifically, in hindsight, it was better for them to go with Book 3 Aang, because this is supposed to be Aang slightly more older. I say slightly in quotation marks.
Right.
But I don't know. Amanda definitely comes off as a more older Aang, who's kind of just done the whole, he's restored peace to the Fire Nation, and now he's kind of just looking for what his next goal will be. So I don't mind that there's a new actress for Aang. I am hoping Amanda can fit comfortably into the role, because again, Aang has a very distinctive voice and a distinctive character. So I hope that they give her something fun to do.
Yeah, I mean I know we only got one line as her, but I mean it sounds all right.
Yeah.
I can believe it. I can believe it, Thing. So, and I'm
And
sure
again,
the rest of the presents will be more fleshed out. So, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just say it. So if we ever get, hypothetically, Kyoshi in battle, does that mean that Amanda's gonna voice Kyoshi too? Not that I wouldn't complain about that. I wouldn't mind seeing Kyoshi in Death Battle, and I wouldn't mind seeing Amanda, play her. Just funny to think that Amanda's gonna be their avatar go-to. Like how, or better yet, maybe show, or if we ever hypothetically get Katara on this show on Death Battle, Amanda's just gonna voice Katara too.
Yep.
It's like how at this point Nicholas Angelui just voices Uchihas.
Yeah. He's the Uchiha guy.
And then there's Traveler.
Yeah.
Rye McKean. I believe that's how you say it.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, one line out of opposed to Aang's 2. I mean, yeah, he sounds like Zach Aguilar, so Traveler isn't exactly a very difficult character to voice. So I was like, because I mean, like, I guess, yeah, he's not a very difficult character to voice. So, but so far, Rye does a good job. I would like to hear more from them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have much to comment voice wise.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know like how much their dialogue they're gonna give Traveler, but I'm sure he'll make it work.
Yeah.
Like Traveler isn't like a silent character. Like he talks.
Oh, yeah.
Like.
Yeah, he talks. I don't know. I just don't know like how much he.
It's kind
how much
of, I kind of, as a major outsider, I kind of hearken Traveler. It's funny you mentioned him earlier, ZDogg. I kind of hearken Traveler to like Byleth, where it's like it's not silent, but like you don't really hear him speak, so to as the case may be. A lot of talk is through, at least again, as far as I'm aware. It seems like a lot of talk, not just for Traveler, but for like Hoyo versus protagonists in general. It seems like a lot of their talk is through speech bubbles. Like you choose the dialogue or something.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. But like in Nod Cry, they have like actual speaking lines that you don't choose. So
Sure.
Yeah. Also,
Fair enough.
another thing to note, if you pay attention, it sounds like they're going to, because again, this is just how I'm hearing it through the voices. It sounds like they're going to be fighting in a cave or somewhere underground, because there's an echo distortion to the voices for them when they talk.
That could just be mic reverb. That happens a lot.
Could be, yeah, maybe. Okay. That's fair.
I mean,
And again, we've oh god.
I was gonna say, I don't know. The fight could like devolve into a cave though.
I mean, it could. I'm not gonna say it won't, but
It's probably
Yeah,
just,
but
you're probably just hearing the mic. Yeah, reverb like Bro said.
yeah, that's fair. And again, bro pointed light to this a long time ago. Do never, ever, ever assume these are going to be the final lines they use in the actual animation.
Right.
yeah.
I mean, heck, like I don't think I mentioned it last time, but freaking the line in the Sentry preview or in the Superboy Prime Sentry preview.
Yeah, they're both
That's a
different.
completely different delivery than
Yeah.
what the games though.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's funny. I was gonna say that like they seem to be leaning back on that lately. Like the previews do tend to use the takes from the episodes, and then the Sentry one comes out, and I'm like, oh well, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not uncommon for actors to give like multiple different takes a line.
Oh yeah, no,
I-
that's very common practice.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
yeah,
imagine they
absolutely.
went with that one just because just to match Prime's energy with the line that they chose for him, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Makes it
Yeah,
more exciting.
maybe.
It makes it sound like, oh, it's like Sentry's fighting for his life against Prime, and Prime's
Yeah,
like,
right.
you old man, fucking.
Totally. Yeah. On that note, everything looks great. We never try to predict anymore who does the fight track for this. For these episodes.
I will
when
say
we get
this
previews.
match feels very Fairwolf coded.
It does, and Theirwolf
yeah.
has done most of the Avatar fights.
Mhm.
So wouldn't surprise me if they do this one too.
Yeah.
I mean, if they change it up and have Brandon do it, that would be cool.
I think Brandon's doing it. What I've noticed with this batch in particular, they're like alternating between who does the tracks. From what I can
Well,
tell.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, that is very common, but there's always been a pattern. Like Aang versus Edward was done by Theirwolf. Zuko versus Todoroki was done by Theirwolf. Korra versus Storm was done by Theirwolf. So they've done 3 Avatar fights.
I think Zuko Todoroki was Brandon.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll check.
Uh,
I'll check just to be sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, like nothing against Brandon, but like I don't know, I do kind of agree that I think
Yeah.
Theirwolf has the style of Avatar music a lot more nailed down than Brandon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And also I don't know. This could just be the thing, but if it is Brandon, I kind of hope it's not a vocal track. Like, not that I haven't enjoyed them this season, but like, I don't know. It's just this fight feels kind of weird to have lyrics.
Yeah.
I feel like
It does. It
have
feels
lyrics.
out of place.
I don't know. But
Yeah, I'm okay with not having one this time.
Agreed. We don't need vocal tracks all the time. Like we can give them a rest.
exactly.
At the very least, maybe like some chanting or something.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
Or maybe they could do like a Kratos versus Asura sort of thing, where it's like, like foreign choir, so to speak.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's about everything for the episode itself to cover.
Uh-huh.
So with that being said, are we ready for are we ready to figure out who wins?
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
All right. So, you all know how this works by now. I'm not gonna go into a whole spiel. For this matchup, Richard is gonna be repping Aang. If one of his names being Jedi Bender didn't give that away.
I was gonna say, I wonder.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's funny. I think I got a comment on one of the previous podcasts. I think it was for Ash versus Yugi. Someone thought I was gonna rep Aang. I'm like, bruh.
No.
I mean, I am an Avatar fan, and like, if Richard backs off, like, I would probably take it, but nah. And then obviously Nero here is gonna be repping the Traveler. Yeah, I guess the only real thing that should be covered, that should be like addressed, is Richard, you're not using anything from the movie, right?
Yes, that is correct. I'm not using anything from the Legend of Aang movie. I will not be using anything from the Netflix series because my reasons, and I'm doing it. And I will primarily be covering the series. I'll sprinkle in some of the comics here and there, but there's only like one big feat from the comics that have been referenced in Death Battle before, so that will be my primary source of determining Aang's power output. But and of course, since Aang is the Avatar, I will be scaling him to Avatar Kyoshi and Avatar Roku. I will not be scaling him to Korra. But on that note, ironically, even though I'm not scaling him to Korra, I am going to use what little he did in Korra before, he died.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta like, he is in Korra. You gotta mention something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And plus, when he shows up in Korra, it's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. Nero, is there any disclaimers you want to throw in before we get started?
I think after I'm done listing like every noble thing, I'm probably gonna go on a spiel on where I think ether scales. I suppose I'll do that before if that's all right.
All right. I guess what I more so mean is is there anything you will or will not cover? Anything, right. Anything I was obviously Genshin Impact, the game, cause duh. But is there anything else that's noteworthy that you will or will not be talking about?
I guess I won't be. Genshin, despite being really big, it has 2 crossovers. One with Horizon Zero Dawn, and the other one is a game called Honkai Impact Third, which is Hoiverse's first big hit, where some characters the thing is that 2 characters appear in that game, and Hoiverse has a thing where variants of characters from Impact Third show up throughout other Hoiverse games. I won't be scaling Genshin to them, mostly because you can make arguments for scaling to Impact Third, but for one, that's not fun at all, and 2, I think there's enough ground for Genshin as it's by themselves to talk about without having to scale them to another series, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, and usually in general, crossovers are just kind of a no-no. So,
Yeah.
that's that's not an official rule, but it's something that's pretty much always talked about. It's like, hey, they crossed over with this thing. Are we including it? No. Okay. All right. Well, it is Aang versus Traveler. So Richard, you get to go first, and I swear to God, if you go on another half-hour-long spiel, I will shoot you.
Okay. Well, I have infinite life, so You're welcome to try. Anyway, no. For BrobusCast's sake, that was a one and done. I will be keeping it just under 15 minutes. Although before I start, I should note, this is probably going to sound a little clunky because I am still sick. And I cannot stress that enough. I've been sick. I've felt like I'm dying, so I haven't exactly had the mental wherewithal to come up and write written statements. So a lot of this is going to kind of just be improvisational, but it will not go over 20 minutes. I'll keep it as tight and condensed as I can with my ramblings.
Okay.
And bro can even set up a timer.
I won't
if
do
it makes
that.
him feel better. Okay, fair enough. Just to make sure I don't go over. But fair enough. Alright. Here we go. Water. Earth. Fire. Air. Long ago, the four elements lived in harmony. But a long time ago, they were in chaos. It was the job of the Avatar, who could master all four elements to keep the balance, but one day he vanished. And then that's when the Fire Nation came. The Fire Nation destroyed and dictated and ruled all over the land. And when the world needed the Avatar most, he could not be found. This sets the story for Aang, the newest Avatar. Aang was an airbending monk. By the time he reached 12, he was already an airbending master, until it was time for the Avatar to be chosen. And after a selection of toys that Aang thought were kind of cool, he found out that it was these selection of specific toys that were destined for him to become the Avatar. Now, anybody with this responsibility would have kind of an overwhelming experience, because now it essentially meant that Aang's childhood was over. He wasn't even a teenager, and he was still being mentored by his father figure, Monk Gyatso, who raised him and taught him everything he knew. And despite Aang's resistance, he could not take up the responsibilities of the Avatar, so he ran. But he got caught in a storm with his faithful friend and steed, Appa, and after being, well, essentially caught in a horrible, horrible storm, Aang's Avatar state kicked in, and he was able to create a giant ice ball to encase himself underwater, where he would remain for 100 years, until he was discovered by future wife Katara and best friend and Katara's brother, Sokka, who freed him from his icy capsule. And Aang's first immediate thought was he wanted to go penguin sledding. He had been unaware that the world had changed around him, and he would eventually find out through somebody named Zuko, who was tasked with hunting the Avatar, and thus began Aang's journey. Aang was caught up to date after finding out that he was the last airbender, the very last of his kind, after they had all been killed by the previous Fire Lord, who knew the Avatar cycle was going to start with an airbender. So Aang began his journey, traveling around the world to master the other elements. He was already a prolific master of air. With it, he could, of course, well, do anything that involves manipulating the current and element itself, such as creating dust clouds, making tornadoes, using air to give him super speed, and, of course, flying through the sky with his trusty air glider, or even creating air tornadoes with enough speed to propel him for long short-term flight. And he even developed a signature trademark, the air scooter. As time went on, the air scooter would be his prolific and most favorite tactic to use for getting out of a fight, or if he just wanted to travel fast. And by the time of Legend of Korra, he was able to grow his air scooter to the size of a car and keep up with said car. And eventually, he would learn waterbending from his best friend and, again, future love interest, Katara. And waterbending is pretty simple. With water, you can of course control anything that involves the moisture, such as making whips, freezing, and also using water to cut through things like steel. Eventually, he would also learn earthbending. This, of course, was the hardest and very difficult bending style for him to use, as it required him to adopt a completely different attitude that he had never been comfortable with before. And it was through his newfound friend, Toph, he was able to overcome everything and finally become a decent master of earthbending. Of course, with earthbending, he can manipulate the very earth itself, create and make boulders, summon them from the ground up, and he even learned how to create a solid rock armor to keep himself protected from firebending, like Azula's firebending. And of course, he can flip a tank. Just thought I'd mention that. And then lastly, of course, there was firebending. Fun fact, he actually did master, well, quote-unquote, master firebending early on in Book 1. But he forbade himself from using it because in his, let's just say, carefree way and excitement with the firebending technique, he accidentally burned Katara. So he swore off firebending to never use it again, deeming it as a dangerous tool that cannot be controlled. But through his adventures with his now rival and kind of frenemy slash best friend Zuko, he would eventually learn the fundamentals of firebending, but it wasn't enough. So him and Zuko traveled to an ancient site that supposedly was the last known location of the last two firebending masters, two dragons, because fun fact, the original masters of the elements are animals, and for fire, it's of course, well, dragons, and these dragons are ones that had the most masterful and beautiful display of firebending, as they were the ones who taught Iroh, Zuko's uncle. And thus, after he and Zuko had learned new mastery of firebending, Aang decided that maybe he was wrong about firebending. It wasn't something that was a danger, it was something that was beautiful, and it just had to be something that you must learn to control and see a different perspective on. And thus, he was ready to finally face Fire Lord Ozai. And unfortunately, he wasn't ready, as he didn't want to kill him. And thus, this put him in a mental conundrum. How could he kill somebody he's never killed before? He's an air monk. And thus, after communicating with all of his past lives, he didn't know what to do. And so, he went off on another adventure, and that's where he met, well, let's not put it any mildly, a giant turtle that gave him an alternative and taught him the art of energy bending, which is not as complicated as it sounds, as it essentially involves Aang tapping in to the soul and life force of bending itself and using that power to shut off a person's bending. And thus, with this technique, he was finally able to defeat the Fire Lord, as he took away his bending and he put him in the proper hands of the authorities, and his next goal was simple: team up with his best friend Zuko to create the first ever United Republic, to unite all benders of all nations. And Aang's journey pretty much ends there. As his legacy went on into Legend of Korra, he became probably one of the most prolific and famous avatars of his time, as he had done something that no other avatar had done. He managed to free an entire nation, unite said nation, and create a new piece of life, all without ever having to kill someone. Now, on to Aang's abilities. Again, every one of them is pretty self-standard. His biggest feats, of course, with airbending is he, of course, can create tornadoes. How big they can be, I can't really say. And he can also use them to create air bubbles to give himself an unlimited amount of oxygen. And also, unlike with water bending, where you need a prefla of water to cut something, Aang can also use air bending to cut through things as well. and he can also give oxygen to other people if he so needed to. And then, of course, with earthbending, he obviously is able to control everything around him, which is self-explanatory, but there is another aspect of his earthbending training. He was also taught seismic sense, which is a form of echolocation that the person who possesses it can essentially see everything around them, even if it isn't quote-unquote connected to the earth itself. And then finally with firebending, he learned how to actually not only create jet boosters, but he also learned from Zuko how to redirect lightning. For you see, Aang can't generate lightning, as not even Zuko knew how to do it. So Zuko taught him the technique that his uncle taught him, which is lightning redirection. With it, Aang can essentially catch a bolt of lightning, and he can channel it and funnel it through his body to shoot it outward to make sure it doesn't hit the desired target. And the most notable demonstration of this ability was when he was able to catch and redirect Lord Fire Ozai, aka the Phoenix King's lightning, which was said to be the most powerful form of lightning bending at that time, as even Zuko was barely able to catch it himself. And it should be noted, both Aang and the Fire King, or the Phoenix King, excuse me, were being amped by a comet that was boosting all firebending. And then lastly, there's obviously the Avatar state. This is a state in which any avatar can lock into and essentially draw on tens of thousands of years of experience from every person who has ever been an avatar. And the first time Aang used it, he was able to actually become Avatar Roku, who was able to use his Master of Firebending to save Aang and his friends. The next time he would use it, he would of course use it to create a giant dust tornado in his anger. And then his most famous usage of it, or the two at least, are when he created what I like to call the Elemental Circle. When Aang goes into the Avatar state, he summons all of the existing elements around him to him, kind of acting like a mobility death machine. He can, of course, blast a fire at you from a distance. He can hit you with close-range earth attacks, and he, of course, can use water to keep you from, well, getting away. And then, of course, air is used to fly him around, so that way he's able to keep pace. And then, of course, the last one being when he used the Avatar state to carve out a huge circle around a city that was in the earth, which Death Battle have previously calqued. All of these skills in mind, Aang is unfortunately not perfect. He is a pacifist, which means that he will not kill, and he will go to whatever means he can not to kill. And also, even as he was younger, he had a hard time controlling his Avatar state because he hadn't unlocked all of his chakras, quote-unquote. Yes, not from Naruto, chakra, of course, being the spiritual way all medicine is derived from, and it unlocks Aang's gates, which help him better control the Avatar state. And it's still to this day hard to know if he fully did overcome it, but from the examples in Book 3, there's a safe bet saying he can, but the Avatar state is only going to be used as a last resort, and one that Aang never hopes he has to use. So with all that in mind, Aang may look like a friendly kid who just wants to go penguin sledding, but if you piss him off or if you put him in a dangerous situation, very much like cornering any animal, you will get bit.
Oh, that was it? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Thank you. That was terrible, wasn't it?
No.
No, it's okay. Oh man. Oh, I might as well leave. Nero didn't like it. I'm so sorry.
That was such bad timing. My God.
I'm so sorry. No. I was faking a yawn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's it, man. Okay. Anyway. Alright.
Yes, that will go down in history as Jedi Bender / Saber King's worst character analysis breakdown.
Oh,
I understand.
relax.
No, you did great. You
Yeah.
did great.
Yeah, you
Mm.
did good.
Okay. So, do I go
All right.
now? or-
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's your turn.
Okay. I'm not going to be. This is fair one. This isn't as lengthy as Jedi's though, but I'll do my best. I hope y'all like this. Okay. The universe is made up of numerous worlds. Each world has its own culture, values, and history. That ensures no two worlds are even remotely similar. Even though the universe is vast, not many have the ability to see these worlds with their own eyes. But there exists a rare duo of travelers who have journeyed through these worlds for as long as they could remember. And said travelers are the starry-eyed siblings Ether and Lumine. As far as they knew, their entire world was the two of them. Because despite not having a home to call their own, that didn't matter, because to them, home is wherever they traveled together. But that would all change once they visited a strange magical world known as Tevat. Seemingly upon arrival, the twins bore witness to the destruction of a powerful nation known as Conria. The twins attempted to flee, but the ruler of space, Osmodee, prevented them from fleeing. And depending on who you choose as your playable traveler, whether it's Ether or for the purpose of this entire opening statement, Lumine helplessly watches as her sibling gets taken by the goddess and stripped of her powers. And if that wasn't enough, Lumine was dropped to the world below, where she would be put under a 500-year slumber. After waking up on the shores of the nation Mondstadt, the nation of the Animal Archon, Lumine met with a strange being named Paimon. After literally fishing her up from the ocean, and after just 2 months of dicking around on the beach, I'm not. That's. I never got over that playing the game. And Paimon and Lumine figured it was prime time to get their asses out there, explore the nations of Tevat, uncovering the mysteries of the world, experiencing different cultures, and most importantly, find out what happened to her lost sibling. One problem: Tevat is a world full of monsters, evil factions, and gods that govern the nations. While Lumine is very skilled with the blade, having once received a knowledge capsule that sort info about various sword fighting techniques, Lumine's fighting skill only increased by 0.073% after using something that's supposed to increase her skill. So that implies that she tangent over. But even when the lesser monsters of the world can channel the very elements of the world, elemental energy. Okay, sorry, I'm sorry, this is going all over the place. Within Tevat, elemental energy is normally toxic to individuals who don't bear a vision. Special artifacts allow users to wield a specific element. Lumine, however, is different. Either it's because she came from outside of Tevat, her original powers being taken away, or making room for these new elemental ones, or just because she's the main character. Either way, these new abilities have helped her traverse Tevat and accomplish her goals. Lumine can use the powers of Animo can use the powers of Animo. I'll go in depth later. I'm just gonna go far. Geo, Electro, Denjo, which is basically just nature, Hydro, and then finally Pyro, but she has and Pyro. Admittedly, these powers alone are pretty useless, but when different forms of elemental energy interact with one another, it causes a different elemental reaction that increases Lumine's damage output exponentially. As an example, with her animal abilities, the traveler can swirl different elements around to further increase its usefulness. I'm sorry. Oh god, shit. Okay, no, this is the worst breakdown on this show. Oh my god. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're doing
Time.
fine. You're doing fine.
Okay. Okay. So by itself, Lumine can use Animo to swirl in attacks and create a tornado. But if you add in electricity from a nearby source, it'll be turned into a lightning-infused windstorm. When in contact with Hydro, dendro particles can sprout into dendro cores that detonate after a few seconds. Apply Electro to these bulbs, and they'll become homing projectiles. When the Geo element comes into contact with Hydro or Pyro, it'll create an elemental shield of said element around the traveler. And when Pyro and Electro interact, it'll create the overload reaction, which that just detonates the opponent. While other characters need to team up with their fellow vision bearers to cause these elemental reactions, the traveler being able to change their element at will gives her a leg up over her teammates and even use multiple powers at the same time. Ever since embarking on her journey, the traveler and Paimon have fought countless different monsters, warriors, vision bearers, and giant monsters just to find answers across 7 different nations. Experiencing their culture and uncovering the truth of Tibet and the greater role her brother played in its events. Clashing blades with fellow vision bearers, ferocious monsters, archons that can reshape the lands of their nations, and most recently, aiding in Nodcry, helping the goddess of the Welkin Moon, Columbina, regain her powers and shatter Tibet's false sky. And as Sphinx, Columbina unlocked even more of the Traveler's full potential, allowing them to use their powers to a far greater extent. Afterwards, the Traveler will venture into the nation of Snezhnaya, where she will face the Cryo Arca and stop her plans for the future of Tibet. And I guess I'm gonna go more in depth on the specific abilities of the Traveler. So, Animo is basically wind. Her basic skill is Palm Vortex, where she creates a vortex of wind that pulls in enemies, block attacks, and hold enemies in place. And defeating a foe restores HP for 5 seconds. The Traveler in cutscene can use multiple of these Palm Vortexes to block attacks, and if Traveler is hit during use of Palm Vortex, damage will be reduced by 10%. Gust Surge is the giant tornado I mentioned earlier, and in cutscene, Traveler has just like spawned the Gust Surge and then just applied Pyro to it, like applied Pyro to it in an attack. With their G abilities, Traveler can use Starfill Sword, which they rip a meteorite out from the ground, and they can use it as a shield, or it can be climbed on for leverage. Wake of Earth is their elemental burst attack, where Traveler sends shockwaves into the ground, causing geocrystals to rise from the ground, which Traveler uses as a surprise attack and blocks incoming attacks. Electro, with the powers of Electro, they can use Lightning Blade, and they fire off 3 projectiles that deal electro damage. Bellowing Thunder, Traveler summons a bolt of lightning down to knock opponents around. And for some reason, you can't do this in gameplay, but in cutscenes, Traveler has just repeatedly used this to like make their sword longer, and just like cut things with it very good. I don't know why. Okay, Dendro is the ability of nature essentially. They can use Razor Grass Blade, which they unleash razor sharp leaves that deal Dendro damage, and the Elemental Burst creates a Lee Lotus lamp around them that continuously applies Dendro to opponents nearby. With Hydro, they use Aqua Crest Saber. Traveler fires Hydro bolts from their fingers and can charge up for a more powerful blast. Though use of this attack specifically deals damage to the Traveler if they continuously use it. Rising Waters is an attack that Traveler fires a large slow-moving bubble of Hydro that continuously deals Hydro damage. And then most important, I guess the big one, Pyro, something they had to earn just to use it. Using either an elemental skill or elemental burst, it puts Traveler in the Night Soul Blessing state. That, in all intents and purposes, basically boosts their combat and movement capabilities. It's like an insult, basically. With the attack Flow Fire Blade, Traveler can unleash a singular powerful attack or weaker rapid slashes. Then their burst, Plane Scorcher, where Traveler condenses their flames into a single powerful attack, and it extends their Night Soul state. I guess other elemental actions I didn't mention, I can go more in depth on. Crystallize is whenever a geotag comes into contact with the element Pyro, Electro, Hydro, or Cryo, a shield will generate around the Traveler, making them resistant to the corresponding element. Electro Charge is an ability where when Electro meets Hydro, Electro Charge continuously deals damage until continuously deal Electro damage until it wears off the opponent. And then where can I go from here? Okay. Can I just talk about like the Traveler's scaling now, or
Go ahead.
Just, okay, I'm sorry. This is my first time doing this.
You're fine. Just take your time.
Okay.
Slow down.
I'm sorry. Okay. Having fought various monsters, fighting alongside various vision holders, and then most importantly, having fought beings called Archons and members of the gang Fatui, fighting their higher rank members called Harbingers. Archons are some of the most powerful beings in Genshin Impact. Their roles are to govern the nations they watch over. And while not all Archons are equal, it can be assumed that the feats the Archons perform in-game are not at their peak. And Harbingers are individuals working under the Cryo Archon, Anastasia Fedorovna Stesnaya. They have a ranking system where the top 3 Harbingers are stated to rival an Archon in power. On screen, we've seen the strongest member throw hands with the Pyro Archon. So, at a glance, it might seem difficult to place the Traveler among the ranks of these characters, because it's kind of a meme, well, early on in the community, that Traveler gets their ass kicked a lot by these characters, and just needs help. However, just like looking at their feats, like how well they perform against these characters, it kind of just shows where the Traveler should scale. In the climax of the Inazuma arc, Traveler defeated the Raiden Shogun after she was empowered by 99 visions. However, after Traveler was empowered by those visions. However, in the very next region, Traveler defeated the man-made god Shoki no Kami. The only power push that the Traveler received was gaining knowledge from everyone in Sumeru to predict its attacks, and then later on fought a memory replica of the creation in a memory replica of the man-made god later on. However, Traveler would fight the 4th rank Fatu Harbinger Arlecchino, forcing Arlecchino to use Arlecchino to use a higher form in order to defeat the Traveler. You might say this is where Traveler should cap, but 2 nations later, the Traveler trained to become even more powerful, and in the climax of the Notcry story, Arlecchino, alongside 2 other characters, used their powers to literally anchor a moon towards the planet. And we know this is a physical feat because it strained all the characters involved in the process. And I think the most impressive thing here is that Arlecchino was in her base form, so a Traveler should also get that level of scaling. I looked up multiple different kinds of feats, multiple different calcs for the moon pull feat, and while numbers do vary, it's consistently in the planetary range. Yeah. That's it.
Was that the end?
Yes, yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hey, no,
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
hey,
Okay.
you both did good. You both did good.
I don't think I did good.
You did fine.
All right.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay.
All right.
You have nothing to worry about.
All right. So I guess any questions about what I just said, or like?
Well, so we have a thing where, we're now in the debate aspect. So it's Bro and ZDogg's jobs to ask us questions, and we will answer them, and by the end of this, we will all say who we're going for.
Gotcha.
All right, bro. Do you have any questions on either? Then
Not immediately. I'll probably think of something.
okay.
All right.
I would like to ask about the fire plus crystal shield.
Right.
So that you said that that shield is that can basically block any like fire and rock attacks at it. Is essentially what that is. Or
Just a singular attack though. It's a singular element basically.
Singular.
It doesn't absorb geo attacks though. If it's hit with a fire attack, then Traveler will gain a fire shield basically.
Okay.
Like that.
Gotcha. All right. How long? And you said it's only available. It can only take a single hit basically before it.
It's not like complete immunity. It just makes them resistant to the attack, but it lasts 15 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I guess this might be an important thing. There's a big question I want to ask, but I think it's kind of big towards the debate, so I'll save it for now.
All right.
All right.
So, I guess, is there between the two? Is there anything that? How do I want to word this? Okay. Richard, is there anything in
Yep.
that you've heard from Traveler that that he shouldn't be able to just bend back right back at him?
Um.
yeah.
So, like, what can Traveler just deflect all of Aang's attacks?
I mean, yeah. Well, no,
I mean, okay.
is there any? So should Aang be able to bend back any like elemental attacks that Traveler throws at him?
Yes. Fire, earth, water, air. Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain
All
to me,
right.
explain to me nature again.
Okay, it's dendro basically. So yeah, basically the element of dendro is essentially nature, and Traveler doesn't have like the best abilities. It just basically they can fire sharpened blades and can summon a thing that applies the dendro effect to opponents basically. But so like it's more like it's more to set up like different reactions basically. Um, like burning, which is like pyro and dendro together. Bloom, which is its whole thing, where like they create like hydro and dendro creates these cores together that like that can either that detonate. Apply pyro to these cores, and it'll just detonate faster. However, if you apply electro to these cores, it'll become a homing projectile basically. And then electro and dendro, that's kind of confusing. It's like its whole process. It's just big damage basically.
Okay.
So is nature basically like it's like plants? And
Yeah,
stuff? Like it's
plants.
like vines, leaves, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I feel like this might be important to ask. Does Traveler only have the one sword, or can they?
They have
Is it
multiple swords. In the beginning, they use the level 1 sword called the dull blade throughout the
dull
entire game, but
blade.
until recently, it's literally called the dull blade.
It's okay.
But recently, like in Natland, the Traveler exchanged it for the prototype Rancor. So you can yeah. They're apparently proficient in like bows too, but like they mainly specialize in sword combat.
Okay.
Okay.
So if the sword somehow gets broken during the fight, they won't be high and dry.
Yeah, like I think realistically they can just use another sword that they picked up, like they found, because you can just find dull blades in chests in Genshin Impact.
Right.
It's
Nice.
like pebbles. It's like pebbles you find on a log, basically.
Yeah, or it's like when Master Chief finds.
I was about to
weapons on
say
the
that one
ground.
too. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's cool.
Did the different swords have any like different like properties, or are they just swords? Just
They have
one's
different
sharper,
properties,
I guess.
but they affect gameplay, but not like but like not like traditional fighting. Like some swords are sharper than others though. Like the prototype Rancor, like the lore of that, like apparently like after being made, the swordsmith dropped it and it just like cut through a mountain like a hot knife through butter. that's the lore behind that weapon.
You know, like you do.
Yeah, of course, like you do.
Okay. But it's not like anything like groundbreaking. Like,
No.
Okay.
Right. I guess. What? I forget. Should Aang be able to rock bend the crystals like anything else, or is that too hard for him?
No, he can rock bend crystals. Yes.
Okay, I had to remember that. Okay, good to know. Let's see. I was gonna say, cause I guess, is there anything Traveler has that Aang wouldn't be able to bend in some way, shape, or form? But it sounds like
that's kind of why I asked about nature. But I guess if it's just like plants and shit, then Aang could probably just like burn it.
Well, Aang could. So okay, Aang could manipulate the plants, because water bending and earth bending also require him to, can also help him, uh, do that. Well, no, why did I say earth bending? No, it really is water bending. Yeah, water bending. He can control plant life. He can even cut plant life with water or air, um, or he
Well,
can
yeah.
burn them too. So he has multiple ways to get around the plants.
Mhm. All right.
I'm just
Um,
I'm just saying the only thing I'm seeing is it's plant life, but oh no, plants. Whatever shall I do?
I mean, there is a, so okay, there is a swamp in the show, in the Avatar show. There's a location where it's essentially a swamp. It's a big swamp that is connected to all of Earth and Bending period. Aang has been in this place before, and funny enough, Toph would even go there to retire and kind of be a hermit in Korra, and she eventually learned to communicate all around with it. So it's not like Aang fighting plants or nature itself would be anything he's never dealt with.
Right.
Right. And
Mhm.
even then, I don't think it's Traveler is basically just firing leaves and putting a thing down. I don't.
Oh
think
no,
that's,
yeah, I'm not assuming that. I'm like, when you say nature, I imagine motherfucking nature. You know, like actual nature. Like all
Right.
like we're talking because okay, going back to what I just said, the swamp is spiritual. So Aang literally has dealt with nature that is very spiritual and is very aggressive. I'm imagining that, but with the Traveler.
Gotcha.
Okay. Can Traveler can I guess we're asking about Aang. Can the Traveler redirect the elements as well?
Redirect, no, but I think Traveler has an inherent advantage that they of the elements or reactions. Basically just whatever if Aang tries to pull a fire attack out, basically, then Traveler can pull out Electro in response, and then it'll blow up in Aang's face like that, because he's aware of these reactions, but Aang wouldn't be. I don't.
Sure.
And I feel like that'd be especially bad if let's say hypothetically, Aang had a form where he was just constantly surrounded by these elements, and and Traveler can just take advantage. Hypothetically, let's say there was a form, some sort of some sort of state where that happens, and then all Traveler would have to do was just throw out an electro attack, and then Aang would just explode.
Mhm.
Well,
Okay,
isn't
just-
that light? Well, okay, so my counter to that is Aang could redirect it.
You redirect lightning. I mean,
Yes,
Well,
yes,
yeah.
he's done it before. That's his thing.
mhm.
I even said that. Did you listen to me, Nero? Oh my god! And you made fun.
Listened.
And you made fun of my analyses. How dare you?
Okay, no, let me rephrase that. Redirect the lightning sword that's coming his way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That choice.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes,
that's kinda
Aang
why-
can direct. Aang can direct weapons coming at him from that from depending on the speed. But yes, Aang can literally redirect shit.
Yeah,
That's the whole deal.
I mean, I guess that's kind of why I asked about if Traveler only has the one sword, because if Aang breaks one of the swords, would that just mean he just shit out of luck? But if he has we can find multiple weapons throughout the fight. That shouldn't be.
Mhm.
Well, even then, he'd still have
Oh.
his own elements, right? That's
Yeah.
not tied to
Yeah,
a sword.
that's what I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not once the sword's gone. It's not like the Traveler's well, I'm gone. I'm a goner.
Well,
Uh-huh.
that's
Man,
good-
I'm
good
dead.
reading.
Yeah,
There.
guess
Okay.
I'll die.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although I think the question that was asked was if Traveler could redirect them. No, but I don't think I'm sorry, that's fine. That's fine. I'll
I guess
wait for the question to ask.
counter is probably the better word I was looking for.
Yeah, I'll always ask. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, can Traveler counter most of Aang's element stuff?
Yeah, I'd say. Well, it's less that I think that Traveler has ways of countering. I mean, like of Aang stuff, but I don't think Aang can manipulate the Traveler's elements. I'm about to go into a spiel here. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay, so just to set up, there's this thing in Genshin. Okay, to start, I'm gonna like show an image real quick. You don't have to show it on the screen, but bro, but this just makes my argument. So to explain what this is a puzzle totem in Genshin Impact. Basically, you have to apply an element and then it'll activate. So this is a hydro totem. As you can see, it's surrounded by water. So what's the deal with that? Okay, what's the deal with that? Okay, so to explain it, basically, the Traveler isn't manipulating the natural elements. Traveler is manipulating elemental energy, pyro, hydro, geo, etc., which aren't like physical. They aren't physical substances, but like they are fundamental principles of Tevat. Fire is just a manifestation of pyro. Water is just a manifestation of hydro. Geo isn't rocks, but like an elemental authority capable of manifesting stone as stone crystals, etc. Basically.
So is it like magic?
I guess it's basically like magic, but yeah, but it's like it's what makes up to that, like the elemental energy. It's not really the elements. And
okay.
And this is a thing because like people who don't have visions, like elemental energy is toxic to normal people. Like long exposure to these things to the elements, it'll just it'll kill them, like basically. It'll kill them. There are stories in Tibet where people just consume these hydro slimes, and then over time they just die because they're consuming raw elemental energy. So I don't think Aang could redirect like all of Traveler's pyro attacks or like his animo attacks.
But then he can dodge them.
I guess
because you know what I see when I look at this image. You know what I see? I see water. I see water.
I guess.
And funny you say energy because again, Aang knows energy bending.
Right.
Yeah,
so
we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
I guess the question on my mind at that point, like okay, it's not like pure elemental stuff. Like it's not pure water, it's not pure fire, that kind of stuff. But does it have like
the same properties?
Yeah, like the fundamentals of like water, fire, earth, air, that kind of stuff. Cause like I'm pretty sure like stuff that is like, how do I cause like I look at something like metal bending, right? Like obviously Aang doesn't know it, but
no.
But like the idea is that there's like earthly elements within, like there's like earthly fundamentals inside metal. That's how metal bending was created.
Yes, and I'll go a step further than that. In Legend of Korra, which Aang obviously, again, can't scale to, but to piggyback off of what Bro is saying, a character in Korra's group, Bolin, learned at the last minute how to lava bend, and lava is part of the fundamentals of Earth. It is essentially something that it's part of that energy of Earth. And anybody can, and Bolin was the first ever person to tap into it. And Bolin is part of 2 people in Avatar who can lava bend. So yeah, like what you're saying is okay. You're reasoning that Aang couldn't do this. I agree with Bro. Aang knows of different other forms of the elements, like metal bending. So just because he can't do that doesn't mean that this wouldn't be something that he isn't aware of in his own universe.
So well, more so what I'm asking is like, It's like, okay, like the traveler's elemental property, or the traveler's elemental powers are more so like in layman's terms, it's magic.
Yeah.
Say that.
Like it in the simplest of terms. But are they? Is it still like, yeah, like it's magic fire, but it's still fire? Question
Yeah.
mark. Is that true,
Very
or
much
am I like how does that work?
Okay, so I guess like elemental energy, like when Tevet was being created, it started off as elemental energy, and then things kind of spawned out from there. In lore, water, like something like water, is a manifestation of hydro, and so like hydro came first, basically. If you just to simply explain it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. hmm
Okay,
Like,
so this is essentially what you're saying. This is primitive. Like, this is the dawn of elemental itself.
I mean, sure. I mean, I guess, but like, there's also the thing that like, the energy is harmful to individuals. That's the thing though, because vision
Okay.
bearers are shielded from elemental energy because of the vision, basically. Yeah.
But at the
Okay,
end of the
so-
day, does it have the properties of the element itself? Is the question.
I mean, I'd say yes, but like it's like its own thing.
Okay.
Okay, so then I can still comfortably say Aang can redirect it. Just okay, let me put it like this: if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
I guess that's one way to put it. Sure. Okay. Well, that aside, Let me think.
You haven't asked any questions about Aang.
Well, because I know Aang.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, Richard, if there's any questions you want to ask, like Nero directly.
Yeah, you guys aren't like excluded from asking questions.
Fair enough.
Okay. I guess Jedi, how skilled do you think is Aang, in your opinion? Just
He is very skilled. He has, as I said, he essentially knows what are considered Earth martial arts when it comes to the bending. So he has different forms of martial arts. With air, it's more defensive and redirecting attacks. With excuse me, with water bending, it's all about keeping your opponent at a distance and trying to trip them up. With earth bending, it's standing your ground and being a very heavy fighter. And then obviously with fire bending, it's more up close, more personal. And he's also been able to go toe to toe with armed guards. And also he's gone up against chi blockers and other martial artists in his universe. And he's actually been able to equal Zuko, who, despite being a firebender, is also an expert sword, as Sokka calls him, swordbender. And Zuko knows pretty much every form of fire bending martial arts, as he was instructed since he was a kid. And then there's also the added bonus that when Aang taps into the Avatar state, he's getting tens of thousands of years of different experiences and skills from other avatars who also had these same experiences that Aang's upbringing brought him. So he is, for all intents and purposes, a well-rounded skill fighter.
right. Okay. Mhm. I guess in comparison, I'll just bring it up because that's what I was getting at.
Sure.
Traveler, their experience they're very good with that sword. Like they've like I don't
Yeah.
they've entered like fighting tournaments where they don't use their their elements and just have just won them, and all that. And I guess they've defeated other like skilled warriors. So I guess Aang is probably the better fighter, but there's a big asterisk right there because Traveler, they've been before venturing into that, they've been exploring different worlds and whatnot, and you're not gonna believe it's a spaceship that they've traveled in. I'm not joking.
Oh
Fucking
my
sure.
god, they're aliens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently, I'm getting at Ether and Limine. They've been doing this shit for so long that they've reportedly seen the death and the birth and death of stars. So if you want to take that literally, that's like 60,000 years worth of traveling.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like, I do agree. So, okay, in terms of like Aang's traveling, Aang has traveled all across the nations. He's gone from different, like literally the first 3 seasons of his show are him traveling from place to place to place to place to learn about different cultures, different customs, different techniques, different foods, all of that, etc., etc. He too has experience with quote unquote space, as he also got to witness a meteor that came down, and this meteor came from the literal fucking stars, and it was made out of a specific metal that was unknowns to anybody in the Avatar world, and it was used to create a sword for Sokka, which he called his meteorite sword. So, doesn't it quite equal him to seeing stars blown up, but he does have at least some minute experience when it comes to things that are out of his world. But again, he's never went to space because, you know, Avatar's not that daring. They're not going to take his characters out into freaking space.
If it goes on long enough, you never know. If they need money, they
No.
can just do that. No.
Yes.
Yeah, I was getting at like like I guess like from what we've seen in Genshin, Traveler has fought in has fought in multiple wars and stuff like okay, I will say that Aang is probably the better fighter, but Traveler's skill is just on a his experience is on a whole nother level.
It's essentially different types of experience because you're talking about somebody. So in the regard of death battle, experience can equal to a multitude of things. You know, you're talking about Traveler's, you know, traveling experience versus Aang's combat experience, and I think at that point it's the matter of which experience do you think ultimately matters in the end. Like, if we're just talking about who traveled more and into more uncharted territories, well then obviously the Traveler himself wins, you know, because yeah, he went to space.
It is in the name after all.
It is in the name. Yeah, he traveled more, but I think Death Battle always likes to look at experience, like, oh, who has been combating the longest.
Yeah, but I think it's also like, I mean, like, it's ridiculous to assume that all they've been doing is traveling, because they have a sword and shit, and like they had powers of their own before they were taken over, before they went into that.
Look, I'll concede with you. I will concede with you. If we just removed Aang's Avatar state experience, if we just took that away and we talked about his experience, then it is lacking because he was frozen for 100 damn years in a fucking ice ball.
And also
because he did not, when he was 12, because he's 113 years old.
Okay,
and in those 100 years, he was literally trapped in a ball. He did nothing, and his age has kind of just prolonged itself. So I think by that concession, I give you that, well, Traveler would have more experience than base Aang, because base Aang only has, like, I'm not kidding you, and I really couldn't make this up if I tried. All the events of Avatar from book 1 to book 3 take place in a whole year. Now, which is kind of insane because the show gives no passage of time, and we're just supposed to believe, oh yeah, all this happened in a year. We stretched it out, but yeah, it's a year. And then of course, by Legend of Korra, he's got additional experience, but by that time, and it really just amounted to, okay, look, he had his own different goals and journeys. Like, that's it. He once his main goal was done, it was literally just wherever he was needed. So that is my concession.
I find it kind of funny that you were talking about like, oh, the show doesn't give us like a time frame, but all this, yeah, it's meant to happen in a year. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here like, my brother in Christ, I watched Pokemon. Like, this doesn't mean it. This doesn't phase me.
Yeah,
anymore.
no, that's fair, but I just find that kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, 2-3 years probably would have been better, but you know, hey, that's just the writer in me. Also, Nara, are you okay? We're losing you.
Oh, we actually did lose him. Hello?
I was gonna say, had yellow exclamation mark.
I see it.
Nice then.
Ooh, okay. Hello, I got something.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh. Is Discord having a thing?
I must be.
Discord is having a thing.
I know.
Oh, there
sorry.
it is. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Difficulties.
It's
All right.
okay. It's okay.
Difficulties, yay. Fine. It happened.
Alright.
All right.
Alright, so just making sure, what's the last thing you heard?
Last thing I heard, how much like Aang's did like post the series. Yeah.
Okay, so then you didn't really miss much.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Okay.
More questions.
Okay, so yeah, I guess the Avatar. How much experience does that give Aang? Just
Tens of thousands of years. Like, back to the original Avatar himself, which was Wan.
I mean, that's impressive. I don't think that has anything on the 60,000 at minimum Traveler has.
Yeah.
No,
pretty
but
At
you
minimum, damn.
yourself. Yeah, but you yourself said, in terms of combat experience, Aang has that, and that does include the Avatar state.
I said it like as a skill as a fighter. I'm saying, but like.
Yeah,
overall-
which. And I could see to that. No, yeah. In terms of who traveled, quote unquote, the most, yeah.
Well, hold on. No. He's conceding that Aang is like has better skill. Like skill as a fighter. As far as experience as a fighter, that's a different story.
Yes, which, again.
That he did not concede to.
Okay, well, that still being said, yes, the Avatar state literally gives him 10,000 years of additional skill, and I want to bring this up again. He, at one point when he first went the second time, it wasn't even the second time, the third, fourth time he used it, he could also. There's another little nifty thing about this. And this is probably only exclusive to Aang, but then again, any other avatar could probably do this. Aang can spiritually talk and communicate to any of his past avatars. Now, granted, it can't be mid-fight. It has to be something that is an acquired environment. There has to be, different circumstances for calming events, etc., etc. But the point where I'm going with this is, he can not only communicate with his past selves, he can also see into their lives. He can see their experiences of what they were doing, and at the most critical moment when he needs it, they can transfer themselves into him and give the illusion that it is them present fighting. So he essentially adopts the body and mind and skill of the past avatar that happens to be present. Like, example, when he went to an old Fire Nation building that had people that still believed in Roku and the old ways of the Fire Nation, the building was burning, and the soldiers that were there to take Aang and his friends into custody saw Avatar Roku from the dead coming out and scorching them to a crisp. But past that, the people in Aang's life could see, wait a minute, that's not Roku, that's Aang. It looks like Roku, but it's not Roku. Aang is essentially being puppeted by Avatar Roku. And there is no reason to believe that this couldn't work with any other avatar should they want to get involved. So, yes, the past avatars themselves can get involved and take over Aang's body.
I mean,
So
that's
again,
cool and all, but 60,000 years of experience.
Yes, okay, so again, you're saying 60,000. You gotta emphasize what makes that special. Did he fight aliens? Did he fight God? You gotta give specifics. You can't just say, oh, well, Traveler has 60,000 years of experience. No, how this works is you gotta be specific, because I'm listing things that detail where these 10,000 years of experience comes from. You're just saying 60,000 years.
It can be assumed that's what Traveler was doing, because they
Yes,
they
but
go
has
to
he-
worlds.
Okay, Richard, let him speak.
Yeah.
Their shtick before being permanently stuck into a vat was that ether limit. They go to different worlds. They do things, and we've gotten glimmers of worlds outside Teyvat. Like they're like space pirates that pillage planets and just murder people. I mean, if those guys are out there, I imagine Traveler would be pretty good at fending them off. And yeah, that's my point. Like, it can just be assumed that they've done fighting over those that's why their skill into that is basically unmatched. The only time
okay. Go ahead.
No, that's really good. It's fine.
No. So what I was going to say is, okay, you just right there, you said it can be assumed, but has it ever been stated in the games and in the lore?
Hold on, I have to check my notes. Hold on, but like, like I can see that Aang is undoubtedly the better fighter, but just overall experience, would probably I'd say Traveler.
I'll concede to that. Like I did say early on, I will concede to that.
And I think that also helps because Traveler has fought against people who have used multiple different elements at the same time.
See, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I don't think there are other benders, and I don't think Aang has fought other benders, but.
Well,
wait. What do you mean by that question?
Avatars.
There you go. No, there have not been. No, because that's not how the Avatar cycle works. The Avatar
there can only be
cycle.
one, right?
Yeah, it can literally only be one. There can never be. It's essentially like the Doctor from Doctor Who. There will only ever be one Avatar, and Aang can. Now, granted, could Aang hypothetically, like, look, if Avatar, like, if Paramount was really desperate, could there be a situation where Aang would go back in time and he would see the previous Avatar before him and fight them? Yes, but there's never been a situation like that because, well, that idea is just stupid and it's very fan-fiction-y.
I mean, Korra kind of sort of did that with Wan, so...
Well, that's
kind
not
of.
what that really
Kind
was. Yeah, no, we don't count that. No, I don't agree with that. That there's no kind of that does no.
Okay.
All right.
So no, to answer your question, no, Aang has never fought. Now, Aang has fought other benders. Yes, he has fought every literal bender of his time. Hell, I'll take it a step further. He's fought unorthodox benders, such as, wait for it, the Combustion Man, whose specific bending power is he can create, and yes, it is fucking ridiculous, but no, his literal bending, and this is a specific rare form of bending that only happens once every, I don't know, every 100 years or whatever, because another Combustion Man is present in Korra, but it's not the same one. No, combustion bending is essentially you concentrate a form of combustion beams from your head. Literally, there is a tattoo of an eye on that head, and you can create a concentrated blast. Aang has redirected and fought against the Combustion Man.
That is the best name for a character in a show like this, by the way. Combustion Man!
Yes, exactly. Combustion Man. It's perfect. It's beautiful. So, yes, I will concede no. Aang has never fought another avatar like himself, but just because he hasn't fought another avatar doesn't mean that, okay, he wouldn't be able to. It's just the show would never do that.
It's gonna be
But I
hella
would
confu-
see how that could help him.
It's gonna be hella confusing, though. It's like,
Yeah,
wait,
no, like-
It's like, wait, why can you bend so many elements? Hello?
Yeah, exactly. No, that is that like hell. That probably would have been something they would have done in the new movie, but they didn't. But yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, I will say because I would also like, Aang hasn't fought any avatar, but also just it sounds like the Traveler's versatility is like freaking insane with how many elements they can like mix and match together, or like how many.
I will agree to that. I will definitely agree to that. You know, Aang's more about quality than he is about quantity.
Yeah, so that's definitely gonna keep Aang on his toes throughout the fight.
However,
his twinkle toes.
no, I was just gonna say, I'm sorry, ZDogg. However, just because Aang has quality doesn't mean he can just, shoot fire, earth, wind, water. No, there are literally different supplemental attacks that come with his form of bending that he can do. Again, when he just shoots air at you, it's not like he's limited to just that. No, he can literally create tornadoes. He can literally suck the air out of your lungs, or he can give himself an unlimited amount of oxygen when he's underwater, or he can also, and I can't believe I forgot to mention this. He can cloud bend. He can literally bend the clouds to whatever he wants. He also has subsonic speed. He can travel literally like he's the fucking Flash from Justice League Unlimited, where he's not going speed of light, obviously, but he can literally use air to give himself super speed to run great distances at a very fast pace. And then, of course, there's the air scooter, which, again, by the time he was 40, he made the air scooter so big and so fast, it could keep up with a car, which at that time, cars would only be able to go up to, like, maybe 60 miles per hour. And Aang just surpassed that with his air scooter, going damn near over 100 miles per hour. So yes, versatility is in the Traveler's corner, but it's what Aang can do with his quality of bending that makes him so unique.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, go on, Nero, if you want to say something. Sorry.
No, I don't. I'm waiting for a question or something like that.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. Bro, do you think it's time I rip the thing off?
I guess since we're already talking about abilities, yeah.
All right. So I think this might be a bit important among everything else. So energy bending, right?
Uh-huh.
So, yes. So how should the traveler be affected by energy bending?
I feel like that's a question you should have asked me.
Okay, well, too bad, haha. Anyways.
That's okay, go ahead.
Okay, so it's weird because Traveler got their powers from interacting with okay. It's weird how Genshin Impact characters are given their visions, because most people in universe it's believed that they are gifts from the gods, but there are cases where like there have been cases where there have been situations where that's not the case. And for the traveler, like, if that was true, I don't if that was true, I don't think Aang could just like take away something that's basically a gift from like a higher being, but you know, it's whatever. But traveler, they got their powers due to because it's specific to Tivat, basically, essentially. It's Mhm. It's like it's Tivat's like own original thing. So I'm really unsure if yeah, because like it, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time wording this.
No. You're doing great. You were doing great, man. Don't worry about it.
Mhm.
So because they were gifted the vision from the gods, you're not sure if it's something that can be naturally taken away. Is that?
Yes, but also elements themselves. That it is a thing where it's like specific to Tevat. So like if you were to remove Traveler from Tevat, then they wouldn't have their elemental powers anymore. But you know, neutral territory in Death Battle, they kind of have to have it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the better question is: are the travelers like elemental powers? Like, I guess if they were granted. What I was gonna ask is if they're like biological in nature. I guess.
No,
Because that's the thing about bending. Like, it's like a natural part of their like. I guess physiology is the right word.
Well, okay. Let me throw a correction, and this is why I wish ZDogg would have asked me to explain this. But how energy bending works is that when Aang was gifted the ability, and when he was taking away Ozai's bending, he wasn't taking away the bending from his physiology. He was literally taking the bending away from his soul. And Aang almost was being corrupted by Ozai's soul, that if he wasn't careful, he could have died and lost his bending. Because how it works is you need to not only tap into the other person's soul to take away their bendings, but it also does involve just rewriting their entire being to take it away. And if it is tied to your soul or physiology, then Aang can take away your energy.
Okay, so then I guess the better question is, are travelers' elemental powers tied to his soul?
No.
No? Okay.
I can say that with confidence.
No. Okay, so Nero, I didn't even you didn't personally. I'm gonna be honest with you. I already was spoiled on this because I watched the lads, and Kodo already explained that. So that the idea of me even playing the energy bending trump card went right out the damn window. So thanks a lot, Kodo.
Damn.
Thank you, Kodo. I love you.
Yeah, but Kodo, you did great, by the way.
I'll be
just like Nero is doing great right now.
I'll be honest though, even if we want to argue energy bending, I'm okay. I guess with that out of the way, let's I guess we can jump into like probably the final thing and just jump into their stats.
Yep.
Because quite honestly, if assuming I'm thinking correctly, I'm not sure energy bending will really ultimately help in much of a meaningful way.
No, because okay, so he can't just do it. So how it just set the scene. Aang essentially has to trap you in a rock in a rock prison that is covering your whole body so you can't move, and he has to touch you, and he has to perform the process. The process is not now, as he got older, the process was probably more refined for him, but when he first used it, it was very dangerous because it was something he had never done before, and as I said earlier, it is something that could have killed him. So it's not like if he tries to, hypothetically, let's just say, this is an old Death Battle reference. It's not like he can just be like the Tiger Zord and just immediately get up close, touch him, and then boom, he absorbs the energy. No, it's very much he has to go through a whole process to do it.
Right.
And even if that does work somehow, it's not like Traveler is like defenseless with the elements. They have
No.
Yeah.
No, because my as soon as I saw that, I'm like, I knew I wasn't. I never was confident in the whole energy bending trump card anyway, because honestly, it's not even a trump card that Aang himself uses all the time. He's only ever done it twice, which means he will never, ever, 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 ever use it unless the situation absolutely calls for it. So
I think a fight to the death is kind of a situation to use it.
Well, no. Well, see, that's just it. So, see, that's just it. You say that, but here's the thing: the context, as Death Battle themselves love to say, context matters. Again, when he first used it, he knew that he was going to have to kill Ozai, but he didn't want to do it. And even during that fight, he was trying very hard not to kill Ozai. He was very much holding back all throughout that time, even though he just got this ability that could have ended the fight immediately, should he had set up the situation himself. But no, he purposely kept trying and trying and trying to make Ozai surrender peacefully. So that is what I mean. You think a fight to the death would initiate that, but no, Aang will not use it. Even if it's a fight to the death, the only trump card he'll use in that situation is the Avatar state, not his energy bending. His energy bending is the second last weapon he'll use if he's desperate.
Mhm.
So I don't see him using the energy bending here.
I mean, either way, it sounds like, obviously he'll to logically pull it off, he'd have to catch Traveler first, which I don't think he's doing.
No.
Which, yeah, talking about that, I mean, yeah.
I mean, look, it's kind of Aang can intercept lightning. Cool. That's it. Cool. It's just he can intercept lightning.
He sure can do that.
No,
Yeah,
I
he is
can't
lightning.
do that. I can't do that.
I can't do that either. Yeah, no. So it's like, okay, that's good for him. But yeah, the speed gap is very large between them.
Yeah.
To his credit, though, like on the lightning thing, like he's done it. Zuko's done it twice. I think Iroh's done it to like actual normal ass lightning.
Oh yeah, no, Iroh. Well, no, Iroh has done it multiple times in his life.
Right, but like I mean like he's the one on screen who's done it to like from like cloud to ground lightning.
Yes, he has actually. Yes, in that regard, yes, he is the one who. He's the only one who has actually intercepted storm lightning and redirected it. Now, however, here's the thing. In Avatar, guess what? Storm lightning is weaker to a firebender's lightning, depending on the user. And what I mean by that is, Ozai, as I stated earlier, is stated to have the most powerful form of lightning in Aang's time. And yes, that does mean Ozai's lightning is more stronger and faster than a lightning bolt coming down from the sky.
Sure.
Now, but bear in mind, just because Aang hasn't done that doesn't mean he scales to that. He scales to Iroh, he scales to Ozai, and he scales to Zuko.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Traveler, on the other hand, Narrow.
Yeah.
We want to talk about that real quick.
Okay, to explain the awesome the feat that event. Okay. So in Genshin Impact, there's this giant light cannon that's meant to destroy a corruption basically, and the Traveler and another character named Flynn's literally like as it was being fired towards them, they intercepted it and just deflected the attack, And if you go into the description, if you go into the archive basically of Genshin, the recap basically of Genshin, it's described as a beam of pure pure light. Um, this has been calculated to like relativistic speed. That's faster than lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's not.
No, that's
Yeah,
not
so-
good at all.
And I guess it's just talking about that the advantage. Thank God for Nodcry just buffing the Traveler. Yeah, characters pulling down the moon that Travelers should reasonably scale to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's pretty. I mean, even with, even obviously they're probably gonna mention it, but like even besides that, there's also like a bunch of island shit, right? Or like
Yeah,
Raiden show.
yeah,
What was
Raiden Shogun using her Musuno cut an island as like an after effect of killing a giant serpent thingy.
Yeah.
And then I think there's an even better feat where in lore Venti, the animal archon, he reshapes mountains with his wind powers and then chucks them into the ocean. And we've been to those islands in lore, like in an event.
Wow.
So, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, even if you don't want to take the planet thing, because that's just overkill at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Let's be fair for a second. Richard, what would you say is the strongest thing Aang has done or scales to?
Strongest thing Aang has done in the comics is when he used his avatar state to create a circle around an entire Earth city, which Death Battle brought up in their previous episode with Aang, which they calced to about over 158, 59 kilotons. But the other thing that Aang is always famous for being scaled to is when Avatar Kyoshi used her avatar state to cut off a chunk of an island and separate it from the mainland, therefore creating Kyoshi's Island, which is another feat that Death Battle has also explored with future Avatar Korra. So those are the two biggest things he's done. Now, he has been able to deflect and hold his ground against meteors falling from the sky, but I don't think, which, if I'm remembering correctly, didn't even come out to about, like, large city level, like maybe small at best. So, yeah, those three things are the biggest things that he has either done or has been scaled to.
Also impressive, mind you, but yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is unfortunate because like this match is very interesting up until you talk about stats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, this is not something that I went into blindly thinking, oh yeah, Aang's got this stat-wise. No,
Yeah.
the reputation this matchup has over the past 2 years has not been something I haven't looked into myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that covers just about everything, unless you all have something else you want to add.
I mean, look, I'm gonna concede anyway. Edward Elric, you're about to be vindicated, my brother. You're about to be avenged.
Is he?
So
He still got massively like mischaracterized in his fight. I don't think that killing Aang solves that.
Eh,
I don't know. Yeah, I had to mention it one
pretty-
more time.
I'm pretty sure he also still loses, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose.
yeah, I mean, it's yeah. No, this debate was gonna go completely different way as soon as we got into stats, and yeah, there's just nothing I can counter against that.
Mhm.
Okay, so I guess with that being said, final bets. I'm assuming clean sweep Traveler.
Yeah.
I do, I guess, have a question for both Bro and ZDogg
What's
before
up?
we real quick. Do you think Aang can bend the Traveler's elements just from what we went over? Do you think that he
I
can do it?
honestly do. Like I think the idea is interesting. But I think as long as there's still like properties um, of like the elements in there, then yeah. Um,
Kind of what I'm thinking too. I understand the argument against it, but I don't know. I do think
Mhm.
it's on the properties of it at least. But yeah,
All right.
but I mean either like I said, either way, like that's not really gonna matter when
Mhm.
especially
Oh.
since travel overwhelms it in terms of what they can do with the elemental stuff. So
Yeah.
I can agree to that. It is a shame, too, because I was hoping that I could offer some way to back up Aang for stats, but unfortunately, this is just one of those times where, you know, the Avatar universe is at most not reaching past anything country level.
I think
Or
what-
or even hell, it's not even going past city level because that's me being over generous. Um,
I think it's my understanding at least that like if we had had this discussion when this match was announced on the Kickstarter, we probably would have had a lot more like back and forth. Because it seems like it seems like I mean not that the Traveler is like okay. It sounds to me like a lot of Travelers like game breaking debate ending shit came out relatively recently. Um, um, and like maybe back when this was on the this was put on the Kickstarter for the first time, I remember a lot of discussion for this match at that time being like, yeah, I actually don't know who wins, and this is coming from like people who are big Genshin people, so I was like, oh shit, okay. It's just now, over 2 years have passed since then.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
one franchise grew and the other didn't. So
that really is, yeah. I mean that's ultimately a good way of looking at it. You know, Aang. It's funny too because Korra is systematically got more better in stats than Aang does.
really,
And
that's sad.
yeah, yes, I'm not. No, yeah, Korra is at most large city level.
Oh. Okay.
Aang, you got to remember, Aang doesn't reach that. Like, even though you would think he would, but no, he can't. Because by that point, Korra had restarted. Korra had started her own thing in more ways than one. I'm trying not to spoil ZDogg on it. If you even remember Korra versus Storm. But nevertheless, it just comes down to, if this was Korra versus the Traveler, Korra would probably have a better time. But since it's Aang who comes out to a mere like maybe small city level, maybe even below that, it's just like there's nothing I can argue against.
Okay, well, what if Aang gets the comment? Would that change things?
Well, I've seen. Okay, I know of the movie, and I can tell you, no, with new
No?
content
Okay.
involved, no, nothing changes.
Okay.
Nothing will change.
see.
And that's fine. That's okay. Sometimes, look, it's not fun when you have a character that you essentially have a character that is going to lose, and you have to dress it up and make it like they have a chance. And nobody knows this better than I do.
Maybe
and hell, last year nobody knows this better than BrobusCast.
Maybe Aang will get that explicitly hyperbolic firebenders can bend the sun thing or whatever whatever that is. I don't know much about it.
But... That would require them to take Aang out into fucking space for that to happen.
All right.
Oh.
So wait. I don't think we're considering one thing.
What's that?
What if we scaled Aang to Sonic the Hedgehog because of Sonic Racing Cross?
Okay.
Spoiler alert. No, that still doesn't help him.
I've just.
No. I get it. Yeah, no, it is funny. I can't laugh right now because I have stupid mucus inside of me. Yeah, that's not fun. Being sick is not fun, everybody. Let that be a lesson.
Nah, really?
Yeah, right. Anyway, but no, it's it is. This was a matchup I was not looking forward, because it's like finally I got one, and now I'm back to where I started this year.
Damn.
Yeah, but hey, it's fine. It's fine. I'm looking forward to this fight regardless. I know. It's gonna be a sleeper hit episode, in my opinion.
Could be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we all do the thing, thank you, Nara, for doing such a great job. I apologize if I got a little too overly passionate, but that's just how I am in these debates. I like to have some passion going there. It's nothing against anybody. It just makes it more. Excuse me. It just makes it makes it more memorable, and you brought some great stuff, and I hope you come back on the show when there's a character that tickles your interest that you like to talk about.
Yeah, this is really fun. It's nice to talk about Death Battle in a casual way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There you go. Yeah, I'm glad you had fun and got to represent Genshin.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you did good. You did good.
Thanks.
All right then. Well, with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you're excited for this episode. I agree. This feels like it's gonna be a sleeper hit. Yeah. Trying to think of something else to say.
I mean, yeah, I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Screw it. I guess kind of not random, but new thing. Kind of a new thing I'm gonna drop on real quick. Okay. Richard and Nero, you guys greenlit another episode with your franchises, or greenlight another character.
Ooh. Nero, you go first.
Hold on.
Like your net, like you get to pick the next. Like Richard, you get to pick the next Avatar episode. Nero, you get to pick the next Genshin episode. Hypothetical scenario.
Okay. Hold on. I have to. I think Jedi can go first. Hold on.
Are you sure? You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Well, if I were to greenlight the next Avatar episode, first of all, it's not going to be Aang. Done with Aang. Yeah, kind of obvious. I would actually go with. It's a fight I've always wanted to see. Recently because there's a great animatic for it, but I would actually like to see Iroh versus Oogway.
Hey.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, it's a very good one. I know a lot of you expected me to say, you expected me to say Azula versus Cinder, or Katara versus Jovia, or hell, even Toph versus Terra. Well, guess what? I I subverted your expectations.
There you go.
Hmm. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess
No,
it
no,
doesn't.
I guess the
I guess it doesn't have to be like a matchup. You can just say a character.
right. Okay. I think okay, the logical next step would be to talk about an Archon, or alternatively, just choose like a random Joe Schmo character, like a character no one's ever considered for a versus. That would be the funnier one, but like if I was being serious, God, who would I do? Okay, I guess if I had to pitch a one idea, no, if green light one idea, I guess I would do um hard. God damn it. Okay, no, I'm not gonna. I'd pitch the fourth Fatui Harbinger Arlecchino versus Itachi Uchiha. That's what I'd pitch.
Oh.
Hmm.
Hey, Itachi, nice.
Yeah, as we all know, Death Battle loves their Uchihas. So the next
It's
up would
true.
be Itachi, and Aokino is I a character I think would be really cool on the show just because and I would love to like just like gush about like in Night Friend group just for that. Yeah.
Definitely can't go wrong with a character voiced by Crispin Freeman.
Exactly.
There.
All right, cool. All right. Well, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and go now. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I guess hope you enjoyed. This is part 2, but hope you enjoyed Sentry versus Superboy Prime. If you didn't, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll get going now. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you all in the next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.